Yeah, I haven't had any problems with like that. It's been more
What's
just the
the
queue in the afternoon
like the
slash evening.
DirectX 11 error? But this one didn't even say DirectX 11. It was something different completely. But I've only had it. I had it happen last night, and I had it happen today. But last night's I was instantly back in. This time it was just like, no, you're fucked. You're gonna get a longer queue than what you took to get in here the first time before you got that error. So dumb. Hi. So I'm gonna get back to what I was doing before, so I can catch up to zero. Um, so if you don't want spoilers, this would be a good time to step back.
Okay, I'm out. See ya.
Get the fuck out.
I'm going!
Because Zero likes to hear me read for some reason, I think.
Oh, you're a horrible reader, but it's still better than how I read to myself. So.
I'm horrible at reading. Okay, so I don't need to. Well, fuck, I'll catch people up. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grapes. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to a particular local in the very place upon which Labyrinthos was modeled, a region in the south of Isambard. It boasts remarkable habitats diversity allowing for myrid flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swathe of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory is ever constant, as you might expect, used to be called Kovos or Corvos before the Imperial renamed it Locus Amonis. The forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climate we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. It's since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments and cultivations. So basically, that area that they're referring to is kind of an area taken over by Garlings, but originally was the last of the Elegant people that were kind of brought over, I guess, as slaves, per se, when they were trying to take over Thavnir in the past when the Elegant Empire was still alive. There's one more guy I need to talk to. Where are you hiding? Oh, there you are. Huff, huff, but I have ought to be taken down below, more than I can carry and then some. Most of our stock is sent off by the cargo lift, but some have been earmarked for aerial transport, hence the stack of crates atop the hill over there. God's hauling the lot up that slope was a job and a half. Okay. I need to go that way now. Run. Your car is never faster than me. Go away, tomato. Fine, I will entertain you. Oh, you jerk. Fine, I won't entertain you. Okay, let's look at the box. The labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings accompanied by sheaves of reports. Ah, the flowers. The pretty flowers.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild.
Mood flowers.
With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
The crew is back.
Have you learned aught of interest?
I learned about mood flowers.
A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we've failed to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Kryl has an idea. You can see it brewing.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the Archaean?
Show me, I want to see. Sweet.
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
All these dead people.
A little difficult to tell from here, but
Dead people,
I
what are
think
you
you're
doing?
right. He did say he was
It's
coming
not
down to
our
make
party,
his
but
report.
we're a party of healers.
You know you get an achievement for keeping the
Erenville
resurrecting
receives
people.
his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member? Or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Where's Thancred?
No.
He's supposed to be this person.
I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
What do you got, Cryle?
Cryle?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
You're back in town now?
Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose
Not
him.
yet.
No.
I'm kind of about to follow Erenville, but Kryle's getting lost in translation with the flowers. Something is going on with Kryle. That is not a good thing.
I can almost reach you.
Been having dizzy spells, and now she's getting lost in translation with the flowers. Kryle's still feeling unwell. Never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our query slip away. Hi, Alizé is not about to let Erenville out of her sight. Erenville was headed westward along the path outside the Archeon. Come, we can still catch him. Okay, where are we gonna catch him? Me, motorbike.
Motorbike.
Can I go off the cliff? I can. Should probably check for more aerial currents. To the west, which is that way. Which means I probably can't get to that one because it's probably way over there or up there. That sucks. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to have to leave that one. Bridge. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Show me more stuff. Hey. Hold a moment. I have an idea. What is it? Speak, Istola. If memory serves, the colossal wall-like structure is Logistokin Beta, one of Labyrintho's climate control centers. It should have its own lift, with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If I were an agent of the Forum, I would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Everybody hop. My little toads. Oh, no. Exactly. Good. Damn it, Ishtola. An evil wizard you are. Accustomed to transfigurations? Worry not, it will wear off with the passage of time. Great. This is as you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. Please don't. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where are the creatures here about in the form you are, essentially defenseless? Thanks. You've changed into note you must remain transfigured in order to progress with the quest objective. You will return from your transfigured session if you move too far away. Look to your map for the transfiguring area effect. Speak with Yustola to restore or prolong. You bugger. Okay, so first time. Ribbit, right. Okay. Toad now accompany you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed. Okay. Oh boy. Hey, my panda's following me. Sweet. Okay, so where are we boats going? Okay. Is that the toads you were talking about, Zero?
At some point, yeah.
The road path here. Do I gotta go up or down? Something down. Stay on the road so I don't get eaten. What do you got to say, Alphino? Ribbit, ribbit? Ribbit, ribbit? Oh, Alfie Toad attempts and fails to shake his head, but you nevertheless understand that he is telling you this is the wrong way. Okay. And you say, Alice Toad turns to face the north. Perhaps she is suggesting you cross the bridge. North. Oh, the bridge at the north. I see. Gotta go this way. That's what a frog is supposed to do. Right here so I don't get eaten by a toad. I'm assuming I gotta cross the bridge over here. That looks like the spot. Of course they could voice that part.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlayan scholars and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlian was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full.
Oh, jeez. Smart.
While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Man, they're doing so good with this. Suppose we shouldn't have known. A gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived, yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps, we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle, this monstrous duty the Forum agent mentioned. Charlian has been called to action, and the Telophroid declarations was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is, they hope to fulfill. They deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of the labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. Okay. I'll continue to talk with you. Alzea is staring off into the direction of Arnville's departure, a thoughtful look on her face. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the Gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Y'shtola and Corral for the moment, see what they think of this. Assuming I'm getting close to where you are. Either a current check to the southwest. Pretty sure that is the one that was showing before. That's probably off the edges somewhere. A place that I cannot get to. Yeah, that's what I figured. Way down there. Son of a... Driving up the road to try and find the next quest spot. Where are we going? Where are we going? You're down there. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay. Welcome back. I trust you found Arnvel then? Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Kral, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Soon we find her back at the farm. She was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision. In hindsight, would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas just in case she decides to wander. Okay, get back to the flowers. Just a little bit. Okay, where are we here? Oh, there's a blue quest here I didn't even notice. Hopefully I didn't miss any other ones. Probably should pick up that blue quest as well. Right there. Because you are going to be an Aetherol quest. Did you do this blue quest, Zero?
I believe so, yeah.
I lost little troll. Oh dearie me. What happened, sir? Speak to me. My Swedish shaggles, one of the Archean's precious samples has fled. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? My apologies. I'm Nuwali T, an archivist. The Archean is home to various samples collected from all across the star, and one such specimen has just escaped. Young troll, to be specific. Oh, I hope he hasn't been set upon by the local predators. Listen, I promise to upset you, so could you please help me to retrieve the specimen? Okay. Where am I going? Show me. My thanks. I will continue my search of this area. I'd like you to check the 33rd faucet. Once you had a comprehensive look about, please meet me at the Archean to report your finding. Okay. Okay, so that's that way. Heading to find a troll or a missing specimen. A word that Zero is usually fascinated by. And I'm not sure why he is so fascinated by the word specimen. Are you okay over there? You're like completely quiet.
I could tell you why I'm fascinated by the word specimen, but I don't know if I can say it here.
What, does it start with the word C?
Yeah, something like that.
You weird person, too. You see no troll, great or small, perhaps a bit further in. Oh boy, you're making me go all the way back. Why are you doing this to me? Hearken to thee! Okay. Tell me more. What do you got, Crystal? The errant troll is nowhere to be seen. No, he may have had better luck. You telling me to go back to him? Well, how nice of you. Hey, oh, are you making me go all the way up there? Okay, I should probably go back to Kryl then. Okay. So that's making me backtrack big time. I need to move faster. My mounts are too slow right now because I have not unlocked the faster speeds. Oh yeah,
Pay
reminds
to
me.
win.
Which reminds me, I should have a look at that to see if they finally increased. No, they have not. It's still 1 star in that area. Would have been nice to see 2 stars. I'd love to have Shadowbringers a little faster. Driving along the dirt road with my motorbike, trying to figure out where Kryl is hiding, which was supposed to be over here. Hey! Somebody's crackheaded. Look, he's flying. Crackhead!
Crackhead.
Crackhead! Flowers up here.
This is an all Sage or Reaper party now. No other classes. None. Seems like the Reapers are always fucking dying, you know? They get, like, getting too much attention or something.
Well, no, I think it's because they don't know what they're doing. And you're getting to find them. But hold on, talking, I think. You picked the flower. Now it's not going to grow anymore.
For you, the spell will keep it from wilting.
Oh, okay. Maybe it'll stay alive at least.
She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Oh. Who are you talking to that I haven't seen?
I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Oh, what are you going to show me, Kryl?
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
And I just crumple it in my pocket? What the fuck? Oh, jeez.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
Good, good.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Uh-oh. That's not what good. That's not good when Alice starts going off. And the father shows his face.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian, a group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
It is not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What, then, is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Uh-oh.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Way to take a good moment and ruin it, you bastard. Better not have hurt Graha, or there'll be hell to pay. Don't hurt my fanboys.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the
Kryle's hair.
would be ashamed.
Uh-oh. There's your hairdo, Zero.
Was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age-long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd.
Do it, man.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Yes.
Whoa.
We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
I know you're gonna do it. Do it.
I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, hmm?
Now, if only we had that in politics.
By their own admission, these scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order!
Yes, give us information and we'll leave you alone.
Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlian. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Ah, that was definitely an eventful cutscene. Well, at least we have been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigation have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the Ethereal Sea. With our freedoms so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn a lot more of the substance here in Sharlayan. Alice has a look of dissatisfaction.
You need the satisfier.
I can't. It's too young. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that is in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival come what may, is Father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Alphino, Alize, is it you Hello? When I heard you'd been dragged before the forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I am so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother. Interesting. Hello? Amalence Levier at your service. And you fine people must be the signs of the Seventh Dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches Father that you are here... Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Fortuno are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darling again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Tommy couldn't be better. As matter stands, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Anchor's group and reconsidering our options. Let's visit your home. We'll be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. Not sure Dragonfire, what do you think? Go see your parents, you jackass. Dragonfire, the Dragonfire Grand Line? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion Eorzea, I insist that you join us. But we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Servants? You dickbag. He better not hurt his servants. That's rude. Alright, if you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. And then she was gone, and with her and any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer, still I'm glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Dragonfire? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy, will you accompany us on our visit home? Fine, if we're going then, let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall, no peeking into our private chambers. Thank you very much. What? Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away. Childhood toys. What?
Dildo.
You are a strange individual. I hope children don't have that in their room. I mean, God, never mind. Levier Estate is that way. Straight down the stairs. Come on.
I don't know the facts, but I've always assumed they're not really that young.
I believe they're in like their teens, like something like 16, 17 or something like that.
Well,
maybe younger. I'm pretty sure it's 16 or 17.
They're mature for their age for sure. So.
But they've been at this for a couple of years, so they might have been young. Who knows? Whatever. Alphino and Alize are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with the questions objective. I'm going off what people are saying, so I don't know exactly what their age is. At least I don't remember the story for that whole thing.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, somebody might be able to say they're this, but whatever. But I don't know, and I look at them and assume that they're young adults, to be honest. But I don't know. I could be way off base, not know some facts.
They got servants and all that stuff. You ain't hiding that in your house. That would go right back to the parents. You can leave your quest companions behind. Oh, right. Companion thing.
Isn't it traditionally with elven characters that they always kind of are a lot older than they look too?
Well, you see how small they are compared to their parents. Like,
yeah,
they are children. It's like Paul and Poron. They were mature, sort of, for their age, but they were children.
Yeah, but even with the shitty graphics, you could tell that they were very young.
As children, Elfino and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at the exact moment, came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. When Alice and I were little, the bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, by my mother or servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. There's another spot over there. Oh yes, this is where I first practiced magic on an actual person. Uh-oh. As I had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite badly, so I tried casting the simple restorative spell I had only just learned. How she smiled when the wound closed, the joy and relief. That was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as the main subject of my studies. I used to come here all the time with grandfather in summer. I would dip my hands and feet in the fountain and splash about. Not Alphino, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He makes any excuse to avoid it, which would explain how I came to swim like an alk, and he sink like a stone. Other spots that I can go? Wish they would show that on the... I'm assuming there isn't too many usually, but I could be completely wrong. Here you are at last. Please do come in.
Welcome home, my lady.
What? What are you gawping at?
The scenery. All this grandeur on headquarters must seem squibble indeed. It's admiring the craftsmanship.
Oh, gods, please don't. It makes me feel like a spoiled princess.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
I think this is where they get their new gear change. Where he'll become a sage.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name. 'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
I don't know how I could regale. I don't speak. No voice comes out of that mouth. Am I telepathic? Oh my god. Am I telepathic? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect.
High heels with rockets. Go, Gadget heels.
Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you would allow me, Master Alphino.
And now he's the sage.
Are these
sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry. I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortunato has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance.
I don't know if we should hear it that way, of knowing the father's inner workings.
Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Are you waiting for me, Zero?
Yep.
Am I almost there? Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the contents of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us. These gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentally, let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions.